Hey witches, welcome back to my channel. I'm Foxy Divine, casting spells, and sassy as hell. Today we are going to be doing a pick a card. For those of you who don't know, it's where I've laid out 4 crystals. Each of them have a pile of cards for a message for you in the month of September. I will be putting all of the timestamps inside of the description for each crystal, so you can go ahead and skip to your message in your pile. If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe, click that bell notification so you can keep up with all this witchy content. Join the family and add a little bit more magic into your life. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, witches, we have 4 piles here. We have obsidian, selenite, rose quartz, and hematite. I did a meditation with each crystal and then drew cards for the meaning and message for you in the month of September. Before you choose your crystal, let's do a light meditation together, and then you can see the message that comes to you. I want for you to close your eyes, and let's take a few breaths together. Take a deep breath in, and then out. Deep breath in, and out. Let's take one more deep breath in, and out. You're starting to feel relaxed. I'd like for you to set your intention of wanting to receive guidance from the universe and which crystal you are drawn to. Take another deep breath in and then out. Okay, open your eyes. Now see which crystal you are drawn to. Are you drawn to the obsidian, the selenite, the rose quartz, or the hematite? Now that you've chosen your crystal, let's begin. Let's start our first pile with the obsidian. Our first card, the Death card. The second card, the Page of Cups. The third card, the Queen of Wands. And the fourth card, the Magician. Now, a little disclaimer about me. I do not do reverse cards. I don't believe in that for my personal reading. I believe that reverse cards are meant to have more meaning to them. They are meant to say, hey, pay attention to me. This has a little bit more depth to it. In my opinion, what I think is that tarot has some really cards and it has some really good cards. If you take good cards and make them shitty, and then you take bad cards and make them even more you just have a bunch of witchy shit. Okay, let's begin. So the first card that we get is the Death card. Now, most people, when they get the Death card inside of a spread, the first reaction they have is like, oh my God, who's gonna die? Like, in the 14 years that I've been doing readings, every single time I draw the Death card, people like shit their pants, and I have to automatically be like, it's not what you think. So the Death card is about like great change. It's about something that you're releasing in order to make room for something new. Think of it like, if you have something in your fridge and it's gone spoiled, you're not gonna keep that in there and just be like, I'm gonna go buy more milk. No, you take out that milk and anything that's rotten, you let it out so you can put new things in. So the Death card kind of has that energy. It's talking about in September, you're gonna be releasing something big. Because like it is a major arcana card, and anytime major arcana cards, it's always like it's a major life lesson. So the Death card, to me, what it's saying and like what's happening into your life in September is you're going to have like releasing a relationship, you're going to be letting go of a job. It's not it's not like saying like a death of somebody, it's more like symbolic death in your life. But don't worry, if you have to release this relationship, you have to, because it no longer serves your higher purpose. If you have to release that job, if you have to like cut off a friend or even a family member, because remember, it's okay to cut people out of your life if they're being toxic and they don't help you to the highest good. So just remember, it's okay to cut things out. But the death card, anytime you look in like other decks, you'll see the sun rising, and it represents a new dawn will come after this death. I know it's going to be a little bit hard lesson because it's that release, but you going through that death is helping you to transmute your life into a new, like this brand new light, this newness that you need. Okay, let's go on to the second card, the Page of Cups. I like to call the Page of Cups as like the Cupid card, like it's like struck by Cupid's arrow. I sense like there's gonna be maybe a new love thing. And this has like, the Page of Cups is kind of synonymous with like the Ace of Cups a lot of times as far as that new thing, but it's specifically, it's about like the bubbly love. Like I sense like that puppy love coming about. I sense like this, it's almost like love lettery, like love letter kind of energy, like, ooh, bubbly. So I definitely see some interesting bubbly love kind of like romance aspect, maybe giving like cute text messages that you got. So I sense like this cute energy, like a lot of cute, bubbly, lovey energy. It can also mean like starting a brand new creative thing, but it's initial start. Specifically what I'm being guided to tell you though, is it's like you having that bubbly love. I encourage you, look up any of these cards, get some more like insight, but this card is the Page of Cups. This could also mean the start of like a new friendship, like that bubbly, you know, that like friend when you like look and you're like, girl, like you see that friend that you like instantly like connect with, you being on like some high level vibration of this new joining in your life. The third card that we get is the Queen of Wands. I like to call this like the sassy queen. I love this energy of her. She's the queen of fire. She is the queen of like, she knows exactly the fuck what she wants. A lot of times you'll see this card too, and it'll have like a black cat on the side symbolizing like owning your sexual energy, owning your sexual prowess. I feel that this is the month to where you're gonna start feeling yourself. You're gonna start getting like, it's kind of like how Stella got her groove back, dating myself, but how that movie where like getting your groove back, this is kind of like, this is the month where you start to get that passion and that drive and like kind of like owning your own life, speaking your mind, being able to speak that truth. So I sense that this is a month that you can meditate and you can kind of like shapeshift with this card. I encourage you like look up the meaning of the Queen of Wands, and like maybe an affirmation that you can do is go like, I'm as strong as the Queen of Wands. I speak my truth with compassion. You know, these are just little action steps you can take. Get a little bit of that sass, you know, in your life. Get a little bit of that attitude, and kind of like morph with her energy. Now, the fourth card that we get for the tarot is we get the Magician card. The Magician card is my favorite card. It's always like a yes card. It's saying that you have all of these resources in your life that you need. Now, for me, the Magician right now, for you, is saying like, this is the time where you have all the resources that you need in your life. Maybe you didn't think that you had all that you needed, but know that you got the wands, the cups, the swords, the wands. You got all of it. Just like the Magician has, you got all the resources that you need to make that big decision. Now, kind of like wrapping this up together, and then we'll get into more of the cards. I do see that there is going to be a huge release, a huge change. You're going to end a friendship, you're going to end maybe a relationship or a job, or just some like big decision in your life that you know that you need to cut ties because it no longer serves your higher self. Then you're gonna like, I sense this new bubbly relationship coming up. I do sense there's gonna be kind of like that, kind of like hit by Cupid's arrow. Meditating with that Queen of Wands energy is really gonna help. And lastly, knowing that you have all that it takes. You have all of those resources. Okay, let's go on to the Shadow card. The Ancestors card. So for me and my connection to the Ancestors card, and this is why it's like been touching my life recently, is when I got this deck, I was so excited for it. I kept shuffling and I got the Ancestors card. I'm like, why is this popping up? There's like a lot of cool cards in there. This showed up like 8 times in 1 week, and I'm just like, what the f, how's this showing up? And it was me kind of connecting to my Nana, and she passed away, and it helped me do some ancestral magic to where I set up an altar to my Nana. We put her ashes into different necklaces for the family, and then we baked my grandmother's favorite yum yum recipe to really honor her, and I started communicating with her more. Maybe this ancestor card showing up for your shadow self for September is it saying maybe you need to connect with your ancestors more. Maybe you need to you have some issues from your past before, and you being able to heal that shadow. Maybe there's someone who passed away that you never got to speak your piece. Maybe there's someone else that you're related to that you're just I feel so much anger or hatred, and in those times, even when they're family, that can be exceptionally hard. So a few action steps you can take is maybe try sending them some energy, visualizing them with white light. If it's an ancestor who has passed away, maybe taking that time to meditate and call out to their spirit, light a white candle in front of a picture and really connect to their energy. That's why I feel that the ancestor card shows up for your shadow self for the month of September. Okay, let's do the moon card. The waning gibbous focus. I feel that maybe in September you've kind of lost your focus, and you kind of have to tune into that energy. That's why that magician card is showing up with that focus. Is the magician is very meticulous, and he's very focused, and that's kind of saying right now you're gonna have to find that focus. Some suggestions I have is maybe look up, it might not be spiritual books, but I still encourage you to look up focus oriented books. I have this one book that's called ADHD for the Adult Brain. Those things help, looking up different things that can help you to find your focus, and maybe making that vision board, maybe starting to put more definition into it, put some pictures on it. Maybe write down 5-year goals. I feel you've lost track right now. Everything seems a little cloudy, but this is the month where you really start to focus. Let's go on to our final card. The Create card. I personally love this card when it comes to creation. I personally believe that the path to spirituality is through creativity. How can you create? How can you start to ascend yourself? I feel that with the focus and the create together, it's saying you can start to focus on your creativity more. Even if your career path or everything right now, you say, I can't be creative, you can still find creativity in your life. Either something that you can do to help you, or if it's therapeutic, maybe starting some painting. But I feel in September, you're gonna start focusing a lot on your creativity to kind of help you in that ascension process. This is a time that can really help you to go to that next level. Like I said, the path to spirituality, I feel, is through your creativity. It's your connection to the divine. When you are starting to filter that energy through you, you're able to create magic. And that's what I feel it's kind of a big message that we have. So let's do one more review to you and summarize everything. Put that nice little bow. I do feel, since the death card was in the reverse position, which to me, again, I don't do reversed. For me, I personally believe that it puts more focus. So there's a huge focus that you're going to possibly break up with somebody. If you choose, this is a chosen thing, being able to release. It could be not being attached to a family member who is toxic, or a friend, or a job, but something that you're cutting, and it might be painful, but there is a new dawn on the horizon. I feel someone coming into your life. It could be romance, because it's about that Cupid card, but it could also be a bubbly friendship. Someone that it's you're yeah, girl, and having that energy. Then I get that Queen of Wands, maybe Queen of Wands, maybe meditate with her, put her on her altar, look up a picture of her, put a picture on your background, and meditate with that that energy of getting done and know what the fuck you want. You also have all of these the energy of you also have all of the resources that you need to make these decisions. I love the Magician card. The Magician card helped me open up a cafe and other businesses when I was yo, am I ready for this? And I got the Magician card. I was word, okay, cool, I am ready for this. So that project, know that you have the resources to start it. With our shadow, we do get the ancestors. Is there someone possibly a family member or someone who passed, you didn't get to speak your piece, and you have some built up resentment? Take that moment to meditate, light a white candle, look up a picture of them, and just call to their spirit and either give them forgiveness if you're ready on your own time. Next, we get the focusing and focusing on that creativity. I feel that now you're gonna start like writing out your goals, seeing exactly what you need to do. And I feel that the path through your spirituality in September is through your creativity. I'm so excited for everything that you're gonna create. It's gonna be a great month in September. Thank you for letting me share my magic with you. September for you is gonna be awesome. And now, the selenite pile. The Sun, the Seven of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Devil card. Okay, so the first card that we get is the Sun card. This is a card of jubilation. This is like celebration. It could also mean something, like when you look up the card, it can also mean like a birthing, like a childbirth or some kind of birth. There's some, maybe a friend is birthing a child and it's like a great celebration in your life. I also see that it's a time of great joy. Maybe it's your birthday coming up. There's some kind of celebration happening, and that's typically what like the Sun card means. The second card we get is the Seven of Swords. Now the Seven of Swords can have some like sketch energy. It can mean like lying, deception. It can mean someone like, there's some kind of deception energy around. Maybe there's someone that you've like had some suspicions for a while and things are gonna start coming into light into this month. Maybe you've had suspicions of someone that was lying to you or someone that was like doing you dirty. And this is the time where like those things come out into light and they're able to be like, oh, see, I fucking told you so. And it's one of like those kind of moments, but I do feel that there is some kind of like deception-y energy going on. Now, the next card that comes up is the Five of Pentacles. When you look at this card, you see like two people outside of a church. They're kind of like cold. They feel, they have like a broken leg. I'm not saying you're gonna break your leg. I'm just saying what the card looks like. For me, when I look at this card too, it can kind of like mean like not being able to reach out, like the resources are there, but maybe you're not reaching out. I also feel this is kind of like it's kind of like playing the victim card. They can go in the church. Like that's when you look at that card, it's like they're broken, they're cold, and they're like, oh, I don't know. And it's this very just much like, well, I don't know. Like stop throwing yourself a pity patty party. Like stop playing the victim. Sometimes, and I'm not saying in every situation, I'm not saying everyone that's watching right here is playing the victim card, but like that's a lot of what this card is. I literally call the Five of Pentacles the victim card. Do you need to like reassess in your life right now and be like, oh, I feel, this way, or I feel that the world's coming down on me. Yes, life can suck, but let's try not to have our energy too focused on that. Like attracts like. We don't want to keep on letting the negativity kind of keep flowing. Now, the next card that we get is the Devil card. Again, like I said before, the Devil card doesn't mean like, the devil is coming inside of your house. It's the devil. Like it's anytime this card comes up, it's kind of like the Death card showing up. Anytime that the Devil card comes up, people freak the fuck out. And they're just like, oh, demon, Satan. It's not Satan. It represents being held back and boundaries. It represents being attached to the past. This is like the card of like, think about like chains. Like I like to compare this card to like there's some like struggle going, like someone's like you feel attached to the past. Maybe someone like wronged you, or you have this devil on your back just kind of like whispering in your ear, and it's caused this different like trauma in your life. And I feel that this is the time where you start realizing this and starting to cut it. So it's kind of like putting those things together, especially I see like the devil next to the Five of Pentacles. That's saying like maybe some things did happen to you and you're starting to realize it. Maybe like you were cheated on and you did have these like boundaries and these issues. That's why the Devil's card's coming up. And you kind of shut out maybe love or these opportunities because you're like, well, this thing happened to me. And it's like, I get it. That thing happened to you. It's not your fault it happened to you, but it is your responsibility to heal. Make sure that you keep on that healing path. Don't have the devil on your back. Don't, release that energy. And maybe in the month of September right now, the blessings come. This is kind of like that epiphany moment. Think like if you look at the sun, this card is all about illumination. When the sun comes out, life, it gets a little brighter. This is that time I feel in the month of September is things are gonna look a little bit more brighter for you. You're going to realize these truths. All of the light will shine on all of your problems and they'll become illuminated and give you the ability to take change. Okay, Let's go to the shadow card. The void. To me, the shadow of the void is being afraid to look into the abyss because you know it stares back. It's feeling that empty feeling. There's a lot of energy for you guys in this pile that you feel that like there's this emptiness inside of you and you're possibly trying to like fill it with other things. Yes, I do feel there was some wronging that happened to you and it's affected you pretty fucking heavy. But with the void card coming up, it's saying that it created this vacuum and this like maybe void in your heart and you keep on trying to fill it with all the wrong things. I feel that instead of you trying to fill the hole, you should be looking at it and filling it with the right things instead of just like, oh, I just need to put some in there now. It's kind of like, here's a weird metaphor for you. The healthy meal is going to take you 15 minutes to prep. That cheeseburger is about 5 seconds that you can get at like some fast food place. And it's like, what is better for you long term? Would you rather like fill it now because you have that void or take time to assess and work with that shadow self? And that's why your shadow energy this month is the void. Is you need to stop filling that void with all these random things. Fill it with things that nurture your soul. Okay, let's go to the moon card. The waning crescent, acceptance. So why I feel this acceptance in your life and why this card comes up right here is it's you accepting your shadow, you accepting that void for what it is and trying to accept yourself. I feel that like a lot of times, maybe in relationships, maybe in all these different things, you've been pushing people out because you don't think you'll be accepted because you don't accept yourself. So maybe this is a lot of this reading right here. I don't think there's any cards. I just think that there's cards that like they give you those lessons that you need to hear. You know, you come to a reading and these things not to just be sunshine rainbows the whole time, you know, because like that's toxic positivity. That's you kind of like putting that veil over and be like, everything's fine. No, it's okay for things not to be fine. And this is, I feel, you accepting that it's not okay, but then making things illuminated. That's why that sun card shows up and things are illuminated and you'll stop trying to fill that void because you've learned to accept yourself. Okay. Let's go on to the final card. The dash. To me, I feel that the dash is like very quick-paced energy. It's like, whoo, it's like lightning striking. It's like that, it's that moment of ha-ha. And especially when I see it next to the sun card, you're gonna have that aha moment pretty damn quick. I feel that for September for you is going to be very quick-paced energy as far as your inner realization and your inner like that inner epiphany and that moment of enlightenment. That's why that sun shows up. I feel that it's been like a very long, slow haul. I feel it's like, yes, what happened to you sucks. I get it. But you don't have to hold on to that anger and resentment and self-loathing. Accept yourself. And I feel you're gonna have that epiphany, you know, just because someone wronged you doesn't mean you're always going to get wronged every time. Find that inner acceptance. That devil card right there that's showing up, it's saying cut those cords. It's saying like you can take those cords out yourself. You are powerful. You don't have to fill your void with cheeseburgers. You can fill your void with things that nurture your soul, like a nice healthy meal. So that's really what you're going to be dealing with in the month of September, is learning to like deal with that shadow self, learning that you can call out to people and still like talk to people, taking out that cord, but above all else, having that moment of enlightenment. It's going to be an illuminated month for you. Thank you for letting me share my magic with you. Okay, let's go to the rose quartz pile. First card, the Hierophant. Second card, the Justice. Third card, Two of Wands. Fourth card, Judgment. For the month of September, you are going to be seeking out a spiritual teacher. I feel that now's that time where you kind of started that spiritual path on your own, and now you're seeking outside guidance. You're seeing things from a different perspective. That could be like going to see a psychic, going to take a workshop, going to, find your guru, so to speak. That's kind of what the Hierophant means. It's a spiritual guidance, a spiritual leader. If you've already found your leaders, this could also mean you going into a leader position. Maybe you've put in all those years of work, you've dealt with that shadow, and you're like, now's that time I'm ready to enter into this leader position. I'm here to help people spiritually. In the month of September, you're going to start having that call of your spirituality. You're going to say I feel I'm guided in this direction. Since this card is, in the reverse, but again, I don't do reversed. For me, I feel that reversals, add too much to the reading because it's half good, half bad. I just feel that reversals mean pay attention to this card. So since the Hierophant is in that position, I feel that this is a huge moment for you in your life and your path to enlightenment. Now, the second card that we get is the Justice card. If you've been dealing with some court issues, it's going to rule in your favor. Anytime the Justice card shows up in a reading, it's always it's things legally working out for you. Maybe the papers finally go through. Maybe the court and the judge rule in your favor. This is a good card for balance, especially for legal matters. The third card that we get, this one was reversed as well. We get these Two of Wands. Now the Two of Wands, you can see the guy, he has the world in his hand. And I find this card to be the knowing the possibilities, but not really taking those chances yet. As far as the Three of Wands, when you see that energy, it's them going off into the unknown. They're going out there and they're seeing, they already put their ships to sail. But the Two of Wands, I feel, is he's inside the harbor and he's I could be doing this. It's that contemplation. Now, mixing up together with the Hierophant, since, it makes, thank you, Spirit. And it has both of those together being in the reversed position. I think that they have more oomph, as it would, a little bit more spice. That's saying you want to take that leap into a spiritual thing. Maybe there's a spiritual business you've been working on or some kind of spiritual model, and this is you leaping into that. And again, if you're just starting right now on your spiritual path, maybe this is the time of you saying now's the time that you're ready to seek that guru, seek that teacher, go to that psychic. So I encourage all of you guys, maybe do a meditation and maybe do a little spell or a prayer to where you call in the spiritual leader into your life and you say, I am ready, let the teacher present themselves. And when you put it out to the universe, that person will come into your life. Now, the last one that we get is the Judgment card. For me, the Judgment card means a rite of passage, a transition, heeding the call. That's why when you look at this card, you see an angel blowing a trumpet, people were in their graves and they're rising up, they're being resurrected. This is that huge rite of passage in your life. You're feeling that call. Spirit has been calling out to you for a while, and this is the time where you listen. You can hear the direction you're supposed to be. Right now, I really feel you're entering into that. This is a whole spiritual thing right now. This is a huge part of your life, is that spirituality. You transitioning, you raising that vibration. September for you is going to be a time of high vibration energy. That's why we get the Hierophant and you stepping into that, calling out to that guru. With the Judgment coming in, that rite of passage, you're entering into a new level. You're leveling up in your spirituality this month. Let's go to the Shadow card now. Soul work. The soul work is exactly how it says, you working on that soul. This is you reframing, kind of that spiritual DNA. This is you working on your inner work. Everyone, you can live your life on an emotional level, live your life on a physical level, but this is your calling, is your soul work. And that's the shadow side. I feel like those of you who know about shadow work, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You know that you need to do that work. You've been avoiding that shadow self, and now it's the time to really to work on that soul. It's you time to this is the heavy grind. People think when this enlightenment is this beautiful time, and I am a butterfly, and it's crashing, it's everything is happy. No, it's an enlightenment is the dirty work. It's you getting down to the nitty gritty. It's you dealing with that shadow. It's you being able to look into your soul and say, why am I the way I am? And it's working with that inner shadow. So I feel September for you will be September shadow work. And I feel that you're going to be really working on your soul. And this is kind of like that raising that vibration. Okay, let's move to the moon card. The flower moon blossoming. To me, the flower moon is all about that blossoming energy. It's like these the seeds have already started to grow, they've already started to cultivate, and then you get the little rose buds or you get the little flower buds, and then they start to bloom. And the flower moon is talking about you are starting to bloom, you're starting to unfold, just like the flower does. You are starting to come out. I feel that, again, a lot of this, like in the reading, what I'm seeing is like a lot of like your soul work, your spirituality, you starting to blossom. The number on there is 33, which is another like working with the ascended masters, working on your spiritual self. And I feel that like right now, the flower is just starting to unfold. It's gonna be really exciting for you this month spiritually. Okay, let's move on to the last card. The wood card. To me, the wood card is all about that grounded energy. You know, most people, when they start doing spiritual work, the first thing that they want to do is work on the third eye chakra or the crown. You know, they're like, oh, I want to get psychic visions and I want to work on this. But you have to remember to go back to the earth. You have to remember to have that grounded energy. Be like wood. Bring in that time to connect to the earth. Work on your lower chakras. I feel that this is the month of, again, I see in all these cards that I'm getting right here, this is that spiritual journey. That's like that slingshot of spiritual vibes. You know, you're hearing that call. There's been some call spiritually for you that I feel, and it's just been telling you like, hey, this is the path to go. I feel that you're gonna start seeking out this spiritual guru or teacher or spiritual, somebody like a psychic, someone that's gonna start guiding you in the next direction, and you're gonna really attune to their energy, or maybe you're being called to finally step into that direction. Either way, it means something of your soul work. There's a lot of soul work. Just remember to stay grounded. And then you'll blossom and you'll reach that, you'll get closer and closer to enlightenment. Thank you for letting me share my magic with you. Okay, let's go on to the final pile, the hematite. First card, the 8 of Swords. Second card, the Strength. Third card, the 5 of Cups. Fourth card, the Queen of Swords. So the first card that I get is the 8 of Swords. This card can represent you feel trapped. Like maybe you felt trapped in a situation. You feel trapped at a job. You feel trapped in a relationship. There's a lot of like trapped energy. If you look at this card, you see someone bound and they have a blindfold on and they're trapped around swords. But here's the thing, when you start looking into like the deeper meanings of these cards, is that it's saying the person can let go of the bondage. They can take off the blindfold. You're not as stuck as you think you are. And that's really that energy that goes on there. And I'm sure you watch this right now and be like, this mother witch doesn't know what I'm going through. But trust me, you're not stuck. There's always a way out. Either it be in a relationship, a friendship, a job. You're not as stuck as you feel you are. Now, the next card that comes up is the Strength card. This talks about owning your own inner power. You know, have that maybe, and there's also some Leo energy coming into your life. Like, I feel that like there's a strong Leo presence right now. Like either you're going to like meet a Leo, there's a Leo you have like maybe conflict with, or like there's some kind of there's strong Leo energy that I'm getting for the month of September for you. So like when you see someone, you talk to them and you're like, I always love this thing. It's like, if I ask you your astrology sign, I'm either vibing with you or I hate you. So like maybe think about the Leos in your life, and like there's strong Leo energy coming in. I also feel that this is the time you're going to finally get the strength to do something. You've been trying to muster up this strength, and it's finally going to come in your life. Now, the next card that comes into the spread is the Five of Cups. That does talk about like emotional loss. It talks about grief. It talks about sadness. I feel that this thing that you're trying to like leave, this either situation or job or something that you're trying to leave, you feel that you'll have great grief, and you almost think that, well, if it'll hurt more not to have them there, or hurt more not to do this. But you really have to think of your long-term plan. What hurts worse? Does it hurt worse to stay, or does it hurt worse long-term for your life to get better? And I really want for you to meditate and evaluate that this week, because in this month, I want for you to evaluate that in the month of September. Is if you're ready, again, heal on your own time. But if you're ready, maybe it's time to get out of this situation that you don't think you can get out of, knowing that sadness is inevitable, but it always gets better. Now, the final card that comes up is the Queen of Swords. Anytime a court card comes up, it can mean either a person in your life coming in or like a personality attribute of yourself. I feel that you're a little like pointed, like you're the Queen of Swords to me has like very like pointed energy. She's very like cutthroaty, and I feel that maybe you need to like calm down that cutthroaty energy. You can still speak your truth with compassion. I also feel like a huge intellectual energy, like you're gonna be able to use your intellect more in the month of September. Okay, let's move on to the shadow self. Surrender. For the shadow self, we get the surrender card. To me, that means maybe you're not willing to surrender. Maybe you're not willing to let it go. But this is the time to say like you need to surrender to the process. That's one of the hardest lessons that I ever learned. And that's very perfect for the scenario going on right now. In September, you will learn the art of surrender, trusting the process. I feel that this is the month where look into your shadow work and really think, what can I meditate on? What do I need to surrender to? What process? What can I surrender in my life spiritually? Surrender to the process and let your life flow. Okay, let's go to the moon card. The supermoon, attraction. The supermoon has huge energy when it comes to the law of attraction. That's why the keyword on here is attraction. It talks about you're gonna start like attracting these things that you desire. Now, one thing I wanna give you a caveat is everyone, when they start going into the law of attraction and they start going like attracts like, they think that it's all like sunshine and rainbows, and I'm going to manifest 10K a month, and I'm going to manifest my twin flame. And it's like, sure, that does work in that direction. But at the same time, they don't even realize that the law of attraction can work against them, so to speak. So it's like, it's that thing of like, well, if I stay stuck in the situation, I'll keep being stuck to it. Also, I have a lot of like energy coming into me. You know when someone says like, you complete me, if you hear that, you need to hubbub. Run. There is no complete. You are your own self. You don't need someone to complete you. This is saying you have a lot of energy this month to attract in either direction. And I feel that you're a magnet for the law of attraction, but the law of attraction isn't always good. It goes on what you're trying to attracting. So I really want for you to start thinking long-term now, because I feel that a lot of time in September, you're having like this short-term energy where you're like in this now moment, and you need to think like, is this what I want long-term? And what am I going to attract? And then start putting it out to the universe and pray with that energy. Start doing some spell work on thinking this is what I want. And if you don't know what you want, that's okay too. Do some meditation and find out what it is that your soul craves. Okay, let's go to the final card. The Storm card. So the final card we get is the Storm card. I feel that this like either this release, this thing that you're trying to separate for, yes, I do feel there's going to be some storm clouds ahead, but you know what comes after a storm? A brand new day. You can, here's the thing, and that's why people go to these guidance and these pick-a cards, is it's you attuning to that energy. Now, if you look out and you see storm clouds on the horizon, You looked on the Weather Channel, it said it's going to rain. Are you gonna go outside in your shorts and a tank top? Or are you gonna go outside with an umbrella? Now, granted, I get it, the rain feels good on your skin, but like, you're gonna prepare. So right now, yes, I do feel bring out your umbrella and like that separation, that job, that thing, it might get a little messy. That's why the storm card's coming out. But it's saying you are a magnet. Surrender to the process. That's your shadow self right now. You don't believe that you can attract these things, but you can. In the positive. Start thinking of your vision long term, and then you'll be able to attract what you need in your life to reach your highest self. Thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me share my magic with you. We had a lot of really good messages today. I hope that y'all can take this into the month of September. May it add magic, love, and light into your life. If this video resonated with you, please share it with a friend. Maybe add a little bit of magic into their life. If you'd like to book a reading, please send me an email, or you have any questions to foxydivineofficial@gmail.com. All of my social media links and all of my emails will be right there inside the description. If you like this video, please click the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can keep up with all this witchy content. I'm Foxy Divine. Pick up your wands, stir your cauldrons, hop on your broomsticks, and have a magical day.